Hello and welcome to FIA Pure Motorsport. On this week's episode, we experience fantastic autocross action. We'll also learn what downhill mountain biking and rally driving have in common. And we'll present the next European champions in karting and much, much more from the FIA world of motorsport. The FIA European Rally Trophy is truly the most accessible international rally competition, created to meet the exceptional density of rallies and drivers in Europe. The ERT is made up of 7 regional series. One of the regional series is the Central Rally Trophy. Its 8 rounds take place in Germany, Austria, and Eastern Europe. Welcome to Rzeszów, a town in the southeast of Poland and one of the stops of the CRT. The residents are always looking forward to their rally, and the 30th edition didn't disappoint. Day 1 consists of 6 special stages, and the teams must cover almost 85 kilometers. And from the start, the teams are facing big challenges and extremely difficult conditions. The day starts with heavy rain that washes a lot of mud onto the roads. Then it clears up, so the teams can only second guess what kind of road surfaces they'll be dealing with. The whole spectrum is represented from dry and grippy to wet and super muddy and extremely slippery. This poses great challenges for many drivers, but most overcome these difficulties, and it's an action-packed first day at the Rally Rzeszów. Wojciech Ciuciala and Sebastian Rozwadowski have a good first day, steering their Skoda Fabia Rally 2 Evo to the 3rd best time. But the battle for the top spot is turning into a duel. Mikołaj Marcik and Szymon Gospodarczyk in their Skoda Fabia Rally 2 Evo are winning 3 of the 6 special stages. They show a great performance and cope very well with these difficult conditions. Erik, Cais and Jędrzejska Sokowa with the Ford Fiesta Rally 2 set the best time in the other 3 special stages. The 22-year-old Czech shows a European level in these difficult conditions. Cais and his female co-pilot take the lead after leg 1, but they're just 24 seconds ahead of Mikołaj Marcik. Wojciech Ciuciala is in 3rd place.
For sure, it's really challenging, but for me, it's that I like it. So for me, I'm really peace and really prepared for the rain. So when it's raining, I'm always happy.
On the second day, the conditions are perfect. 5 special stages and almost 68 kilometers lie ahead of the teams. Grzegorz Zip and Michael Poradzisz had an accident during testing and finished day 1 in just 5th position. But on day 2, they are in attack mode and steer their Skoda Fabia Rally 2 Evo up into 3rd place. A great comeback. Mikołaj Marcik and Szymon Gospodarczyk are doing everything to reduce that 24-second deficit. The Polish team wins 2 seconds and puts a lot of pressure on the young Czech team in 1st place. But Erik, Cais and Jędrzejska Sokowa keep calm and have an almost perfect leg 2. Every time Mikołaj Marcik reduces the gap, they have exactly the right response. The Czechs are sealing their triumph by winning the last power stage and become just the 6th foreign crew in the list of winners of the Rzeszów event. After 152 kilometers, Cais wins his first Central European rally with just a 16-second gap ahead of Mikołaj Marcik. Grzegorz Zib takes a very good third place, a good day for the Czech driver.
Tough, not easy and long one, but really enjoyed the day and we are winners. So I think yesterday, the last stage where we beat all the guys by 18 seconds, that's I think where we made the race.
The win in Rzeszów was the first victory for Erik Cais in the FIA European Rally Trophy event, the biggest success so far in the 22-year-old's both short and unusual career. And not a bad performance for someone who has spent a major part of his life not in a car, but on a mountain bike.
Actually, I was a mountain biker, the pro mountain biker.
Erik has been racing down mountains since he was 7. In 2015, he started his international career. In 2016, he's finally old enough to take part in World Cup races in downhill mountain biking. In 2017, he had a bad crash during practice.
I fell off at my 18th birthday, and at hospital I said to my dad, who is also ex-rally driver, I told him that, okay, now it was enough biking. Please give me a chance to drive a rally car.
No sooner had he left the hospital than he starts his career in rallying, and without any motorsport experience. He'd never raced in a kart or in a cross-car buggy. He joined his first local rallies in 2018 in his home country, the Czech Republic. He learns quickly and improves steadily, with of course thanks to the support of his parents. And he shows great potential. Erik obviously got his talent from his father and got the rest from mountain biking.
I think from mountain biking I take a lot of feeling about the car, because on the mountain biking you need to feel the bike with your whole body. If you put this into car and you try to feel the car with all your body, not just with your hands or head or eyes, I think that's much more important, because then you feel if you have a flow, if you are losing the time sometimes, or something like that. And also what is really good for mountain biking is the discipline, because on a bike you are training really hard.
He tries to compensate for his lack of experience with knowledge. He picks the brains of his father, other successful drivers, his mechanics, and the owner of the team, talking about lines and driving styles. He soaks up their knowledge like a sponge, and he enjoys every second of it.
Happy that I'm driving the rally car. I'm trying to do my best to be the best in the world and to reach my goal.
One day, Erik wants to sit in a WRC car and compete with the best drivers in the world. That's what he did when he was competing in mountain bike downhill races, and he is as hungry for success in rally as he was in his former life as a mountain bike pro. He still loves the outdoors and enjoys being in the mountains, but his new center of his life is now on the road.
For me, it's my job, my passion, and also my hobby.
The final for the FIA Karting European Championship for gearbox racers comes from Adria in Italy, the scene of last year's season opener, and in the intense Venetian heat, nobody will be able to take things easy in this bubbling cauldron of a race weekend. With both KZ and KZ2 categories reaching their climax, there's plenty of action on the horizon and many battles to be won. In KZ2, Senna van Wallstein hopes to claim his first European title. The lead of the Dutch driver is just 5 points over Italian Giacomo Polini. Lorenz van Hoppen only has an outsider's chance of winning the European title. Giuseppe Palomba leads Danilo Albanese into turn 1 as the Italian pair renew their rivalry. Senna van Wallstein makes a smooth getaway ahead of Giacomo Polini and Paavo Tonteri, with the Dutchman looking good for the title. But there is mayhem behind as a couple of touches turns into a pileup. Numerous drivers are eliminated on the spot. Up front, the two Italian drivers battle for top spot. Polini is sitting in third place, van Wallstein in fifth. On lap 2, Palomba defends with pure conviction, almost crashing in an effort to stay in front. And as the dueling leaders go into turn 6, they actually do crash into each other. Polini takes the lead, and suddenly van Wallstein's dreams of the title again take a huge hammer blow. Van Wallstein with the yellow helmet is in third position. Between him and Polini is the Finn Paavo Tonteri with the yellow-green helmet. If the Italian wins the race, Senna van Wallstein must overtake Tonteri to score enough points to maintain his lead in the European Championship. Then Hubert Petit and Arthur Carbonell are catching van Wallstein, and they almost manage to slide past their teammate. With only a couple of laps to go, van Wallstein catches Tonteri. Catching is one thing, passing is quite another. On the final lap, he knows he has one last chance of a dive up the inside in a huge gamble. He takes his chance and just hits the brake paddle a bit too late as he and Tonteri drift wide. Petit and Travesanuto sail by to secure their second and third place finish. Game over for van Wallstein. Giacomo Polini becomes the 6th Italian to win the KZ2 European Championship. Third in the KZ2 Super Cup last year, second in the European Championship 3 years ago, but now, at last, he is the winner, and a very popular one too, as his rivals queue up to congratulate him, including van Wallstein, a very worthy adversary. Polini wins the title with a 9-point lead. Van Wallstein must accept second place, and fellow Dutchman Van Hoppen finishes in third. The race for the European title is even closer in the KZ category. Emilian Dehner has just a 1-point lead over Riccardo Longhi, and Alex Irlando has also good chances to win the championship. In a dramatic start, Matteo Vigano and Victor Gustafsson bang wheels, allowing Paolo Ippolito clear passage to the lead of the race. Pedro Hildebrand places his kart in third around the outside of turn 2, while sadly Mirko Torsellini and Lorenzo Camplese are spat off the circuit. Championship contender Emilian Dehner is boxed in, but he is ahead of Riccardo Longhi, and Vigano isn't leading. So for now, he's safe and still looking good to become the European champion. Dehner, number 1, and Longhi, number 4, are now together battling for the title, hoping their rivals wouldn't outscore them and keeping their duel clean, fair, but firm. Suddenly, Emilian Dehner is out after an incident on the track, and his title hopes are shattered. It's all too much for the popular Frenchman. Then, dramatically, Stan Pex goes for Hildebrand, and it fails. He too is out of the race and out of the championship. Dehner and Pex's demise put Longhi back in the lead, and all he has to do to become champion is finish the race. Paolo Ippolito wins, Pedro Hildebrand comes in second, and Victor Gustafsson completes the podium. But the happiest man crosses the line in 6th place. Riccardo Longhi becomes European champion, the first Italian to do so for 4 years. Triumph for Longhi, heartbreak for Dehner. Hildebrand finishes the season in 2nd place. Paolo Ippolito finishes 3rd thanks to his victory here today. The Lahti Historic Rally in Finland is the only gravel rally on this year's schedule of the 2021 European Historic Rally Championship and invokes the spirit of the legendary Thousand Lakes Rally. Ernie and Karen Graham enjoyed the 12 typical Finnish special stages. In their Ford Escort RS 1800, they finished the Lahti Historic Rally 8th overall and at the head of the Category 2 for cars built between 1968 and 1974. The Audi Quattro A2 of Ville Silvesti and Aristo Pitalainen won the 2021 Lahti Historic Rally. The Finns ending the day by 53.8 seconds ahead of the Audi of Kari Kivinen and Hannu Kempinen. The mini crew of Krzysztof Holovczyk and Lukas Kurzeja claimed an incredible victory on the Hungarian Baja when the result was decided on a tiebreaker. Remarkably, after 454 kilometers of competitive action over 7 selective sections, the Poles and the Toyota duo of Yazid Al-Raji and Michael Orr finished the event with the same total time of 4 hours, 56 minutes, 28 seconds. According to the regulations, in the event of a dead heat, the competitor who sets the best time on the first selective section that is not a qualifying stage is proclaimed the winner, handing the victory to Holovczyk and Kurzeja after one of the closest battles in cross-country history. World Cup leaders Yasir Saidan and Alex Kurzmich finished third in another mini John Cooper Works rally. The stops of the FIA European Autocross Championship take place all over Europe. The teams must transport their families, their buggies, and material over hundreds of kilometers and many borders. But there's one thing they don't have to worry about: their tires. This issue is in good hands. Cooper Tires is the exclusive tire supplier to Autocross. To every event, they bring not only 4 members of the staff and between 440 and 900 tires, but also a service that is very well received by the teams.
We have a mix between the drivers and the teams that are used to us by now, where they just send us a message and saying, can I order my 6, my 8, my 10 for the next round, versus the ones that are now very much on side with the service we offer, where they come up on the day and say, hey, I need 6 of these, and just work with the spec numbers that they need as well.
And then the work for the on-site crew starts.
The drivers and the teams bring either unmounted rims or a previously registered and used tyre to us. Our service crew will take the valve and remove any inflated air if it's still under pressure. Take the tyre and the rim off, have a visual inspection and check the inside. If it's to be refitted, we'll do that included in the cost that we put onto the tyre. And if it's a brand new tyre replacement, we'll give the alloys or the wheels a clean, just to make sure there's no foreign objects inside, to help prevent any damage to the inside of the tyre. And then mount the tyre with a tyre soap using the machinery that we have on site, and then inflate to approximately 2 to 3 bar. We use dry air to physically do what it sounds like, take all the moisture out of the air. So when it's under pressure and heating up, the air doesn't expand as much. So it keeps the pressures more consistent across the course of the event, and it can be easier to repressurize and reset the pressures after each round.
But Cooper Tires also plays a key role in improving technical and sporting equity in the championship. There's a barcode on the sidewall and an RFID chip vulcanized inside the tire to allow the FIA to monitor tire usage. There's a specific tire allocation per weekend. The drivers must register the tires they want to use. The FIA scrutineers check whether the tires are permissible. Before the buggies are allowed on the race course, they check if the tires are registered to this driver and for this weekend. And after the weekend, tires that will no longer be used are traveling with the Cooper Tires crew back to the UK.
We will offer and have offered a free recycling service to make sure that we can work as sustainably as possible. And we'll take those back to the UK and recycle back at our factory as well. But the used tyres, the teams can take off and use in other championships, other areas, free practice and warm up as well.
Because the next race weekend, they'll be supplied with brand new tires again. The 4th stop of the FIA European Autocross Championships takes place in Magnum Cross Arena in Perov, Czech Republic. Perov is in the east of the Czech Republic, about 90 kilometers from Brno. The course is 1,000 meters long and has a height difference of 40 meters with one big jump shortly after the start. It's the 2nd stop for the FIA Cross Car Academy Trophy, created for young drivers between the ages of 13 and 16 who aspire to make their debut on the international off-road scene. The equipment is identical for the 12 drivers from different countries in Europe. In the final, championship leader Gil Membrado, number 546, has to start from the 2nd row. Great start from Membrado, overtaking Nordstrand and taking 3rd place. Up front, Eitan Pepuyol has the lead. Membrado is already attacking Stanislav Brusek in second place, but the Czech defends his position for now. When the trio passes the start line for the first time, Membrado makes his move and passes Brusek and Pepiol, who is also overtaken by the Czech driver. Membrado with a big lead, and in the last lap, Pepiol passes Brusek on the inside and regains second place. The second victory in the second race for the 13-year-old super talent. After a tough battle, Eitan Pepiol finishes in second place. Stanislav Brusek completes the podium in third. For the cross car event, five-time World Rally Championship runner-up and current official Hyundai WRC driver Thierry Neuville comes back to his roots. The Belgian driver starts on the far right side of the first row. Next to him are Juan José Moll and David Meat, two of the favorites. Neuville, with a bad start, loses first one position and then falls back to seventh position. Moll leads the race ahead of Meat. With 3 laps to go, Neuville must retire. An unfortunate weekend for the WRC driver. At the front, it's a three-way battle for victory. Moll against the two Frenchmen, Meat and Molny. In the end, it's a lights-to-flag win for the Spanish driver. Swapped roles to the first stop in France. This time, Juan José Moll is on first place and David Meat second. Molny also on the podium in third. Kevin Peters has been the dominant driver of the qualification for the Buggy 1600 final. And the driver from Luxembourg with the yellow-white car in the middle has the best start, and he immediately pulls out to a solid lead. Jakub Novotny, number 123, is in fourth position, but with a gutsy move, he overtakes Wiebeler and Straub on the outside. The 16-year-old now sits in second place, and he puts pressure on Peters. On the start-finish straight, Peters stands at an angle for a moment too long, and Novotny is next to him, having the inside into the next curve, and uses it to get to the lead, to the delight of the Czech fans. While Novotny extends his lead, Peters gets pressure from Wiebeler but stays in front. After an accident by Timo Pähler, the race is suspended before the last lap and Novotny can celebrate his win. In only his fourth Buggy 1600 race, the first victory for the young Czech. With his second place finish, Kevin Peters takes over the lead in the overall standings. The Super Buggy final is the last race of the day. Czech driver Peter Nikodem in the blue and white and red buggy has won all qualification heats. Next to him starts his compatriot Radek Jordak. Latvian driver Ervins Grencius completes the front row. Nikodem stays in front of Grencius as he takes second position. The 22-year-old Czech driver knows the track in Prerov since he was knee-high to a tire and has already extended his lead in the first lap. Then Grencius with a mistake. Two drivers pass him, but the Latvian fights back to take the third position. While Nikodem leads by a large margin, 3 buggies are fighting for the remaining podium places. Grencius in the orange buggy overtakes Kubicek and Tafani for second place. The experienced Latvian driver with another very good performance. But Peter Nikodem is in a class of his own, winning the final by 7 seconds. Grenches comes in second. Martin Hruby fights his way to third place. That's it for today. On the next episode of FIA Pure Motorsport, we'll be at the Red Bull Ring for the next stop of the Formula Regional European Championship. We'll have all the important scenes from the second stop of the European Truck Racing Championship in Zolder. And we'll present you the very young drivers of the FIA Cross Car Academy Trophy. Till next time, take care everybody, and ciao.